Hey, what are you doing right now?
I've got about 30-ish minutes left on this WWE event, and I'll be good.
Okay. I just got on stream. I'm gonna do a quick one, 30, 45 minutes. What's going on, Celine? I wanted to talk to you about something. Maybe you hop in at the end of my stream and then we can do something after. But this cape is disappearing. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
the cape projections look bad. I don't know, man. I was just looking at all these soundings and I'm like, where's the lift gonna come from? Um,
Fine.
I wanted to talk to you about that a little bit though.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at, I don't know, man. To me, it seems like everything's collapsing. Maybe you'll come, which is kind of a good thing. But maybe you'll come. I was gonna say maybe
I'll
we'll.
wait for the her to come tomorrow to kind of get my final statements on it.
Yeah, I know we want to be within the 72-hour kind of time frame, and we're like right on the edge of it.
Yeah.
So, all right, yeah. Whenever you're done, if you want to hop in here, I'll be on and we can discuss it.
Sounds good. I'll do it.
All right, I'll see you later. Bye.
All right, bye.
What's going on, guys? Watch my stream from earlier. One second. Okay. Um, this we're not seeing that. We may luck out on this thing and not get a major tornado outbreak. Um, let's look at our latest numbers. Let's start digging into some of these soundings. What's going on? Why is this thing so crooked? There we go. Okay. We've got a tiny bit of, I mean, this is a very, we have very high dew points. This is going to mean our air is very, very saturated. And if saturated air has the opportunity to lift, which it does because our air above our heads is cooler than the air at the surface. You can see right here. That's going to allow this parcel of air to rise. And with high dew points and a lot of saturation, as this moisture rises into the atmosphere, it's going to condense. And the gas is going to turn into a liquid, releasing latent heat. And that can also help to cool down the environment a little bit more. You can see that happening up here. So there's potential here. There's no wind shear from this sounding here. I mean, there's wind shear here, but this is insignificant wind shear. Interesting that we do have almost a 2,000 joules per kilogram forecasted CAPE. Nothing crazy, but here's the thing. Okay, cool. So we got a lot of CAPE here out through eastern Texas. Our wind shear is not that impressive. This is what I'm talking about, the timing of things, guys. Where we're going to see the most significant CAPE, I don't think we're going to have the most significant shear. Yeah, Celine, we can look at that in a second. Okay, so what are we looking at right here? We are looking at, let's break it down together real quick. We're looking at this area, really kind of Dallas-Fort Worth up into Oklahoma City, where we're seeing some significant CAPE, but we're not seeing the shear here. That's because our trough is beginning to tilt. We're seeing, what is CAPE? Again, convective available potential energy. CAPE is a reading of how much instability we have. And what do we mean by instability if I haven't gone over it enough? Think of instability as how much lift mechanism do we have. To get strong thunderstorms and strong updrafts that can tilt your wind shear, your spinning columns of air up and produce tornadoes, you need an extreme amount of lift. Just think of instability as we have warm air rushing up. Okay? Gas is condensing into liquid, moisture in the clouds, and we're tilting these spinning, rotating columns of air at the surface. We have this happening here. We have this lift mechanism here, a lot of it. We have a lot of it. But we don't have these big, massive rotating columns of air at the surface, which would be our wind shear. That happens out here. Well, now watch what happens as we move forward in time. Okay, now suddenly we have wind shear. But now let's go look at our cape. Where's our cape? It's gone. The shear here is pretty good. Southeasterly winds. Southeasterly winds into southwesterly winds. Not too bad. There's some decent shear there. I think this is really underdoing the cape. I actually don't fully agree with this sounding. Let's take another one here. Sorry guys, I'm looking over this on the new Euro for the first time with you. I really want to. This is a decent looking. Here's the problem. Here is the problem. Our dew points are doing something good here, helping to cool the air up here. The issue is we have air above the surface out here that's slightly warmer. Then we have air aloft that's slightly warmer than the air at the surface. You do not get a parcel of air shooting upwards when that's the case. You need the air aloft to be cooler than the air at the surface to get strong cape, to get strong lift. And again, we don't really see that. This is our cap isn't broken here. Let's go a little bit farther forward. We need to get into these short ranges. I'm done with these global models because I think they're picking up on this a little bit wrong. Let's go back. Let's see what we have here. Again, where's the cape? What is going on? It's inexistent. Let's just look at it like this. Let's just go into our severe weather. Let's cheat and let's go into most unstable cape. I'll get into chat in a second, guys. Let me just go over this. We're trying to see if we're gonna have a bust on Tuesday, Wednesday, or not. Here's the 18Z. Look at that cape absolutely disappear. Look at that. See, guys? Let me go back a little bit farther and see what our cape was doing. Guys, do you see? Okay, do you see this? This is like 48 hours ago. Do you see this right here? Do you see this cape up here? Okay. Now look at what we have. And that's what I was showing you on the soundings. Ready? This is the same time frame right here. Where is it? This is gone. This is almost non-existent. So, but this is when we get our biggest shear potential out here. Out here. We're going to have lots of cape. Out here, great, fantastic. But we're going to have our jets. We're going to have these, very strong trough projections out to the east here. And this is where we're going to have our strongest shear as well. And our cape is going to drop off. Our lift potential is going to drop off. There's time for this to change. Plenty of time for this to change. Let me look at the NAM. What's our NAM at this point? Okay, well, our NAM is cranking cape through here. This is interesting. This is interesting, guys. Hold up. Less cape. Yes, you want a lot of cape. You want a lot of cape. Look at the NAM. All right. Our short range models do not agree with our Euro. This is throwing me for a loop. This would be, most unstable cape being forecast at 2,000 joules per kilogram right there. Guys, think about it like this. If you have over 1,000, 1,500 joules per kilogram, you can get a decent tornado. If you're pushing 2,000 to 3,000, you can get a strong one. If you're pushing over 4,000, it can be very dangerous. So here we go. Guys, this dew point at 64, surface temperature at 73. The shear here isn't incredible, but the cape is good. Why? See, the NAM has a completely different picture, guys. Is this the Connor? What's up, Feds? Sorry, guys. I look at the name in Southern Oklahoma. Yeah, I'll look at there too. Sorry, guys. I'm looking. I was out. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm looking at some of this for the first time right now. These updated model runs. Okay, think about it like this. This is the temperature. This is the temperature of the atmosphere as we're rising. Listen, you need it to be cooler. You need it to be warmer at the surface than it is above your heads to break the cap, to allow this parcel of air to rise. What you see right in here, this is our cape. The difference between this line right here and this red line right here, this open sector in here, guys, this is our cape. If I could color this in, this is our cape. It also helps to have a dew point. Now, you really want your dew points to drop off quickly down here at the surface to help with breaking the cap. And this cuts, this does some wild stuff above 850 millibars, but you want this actually to kind of jut out a little bit more there. Let's take a look at another reading here. Let's look at southeastern Oklahoma, like someone just said in chat. Wow. There you go. There you go. Almost pushing 2,100 joules per kilogram forecast. Pretty good. There's your cape right in here. The wind shear again, though, not insane. Let me push out a little bit further because I think this is where we could get some good shear out here. This is not bad shear, but your cape's a little bit left. The NAM look, what we're looking at now, guys, this would be a potential for some decent tornadoes here, for a decent severe weather outbreak. And this is our short range. And the NAM's pretty good at this stuff. Some good cape here. The shear potentials, I have mixed feelings about it. Now, I'll get to chat in a second. Again, I'm just looking at this for the first time. Wind shear isn't necessarily just the change. Wind shear isn't necessarily just the change in wind direction with height. It's also the change in wind speed with height. So we need to look at that as well. So although this isn't a massive change in wind direction with height, you've got a massive look at this change in wind speed as we're moving up. Look at the change in velocities of wind. I mean, we're talking about like 5 knots into 55 knots, back into 15 knots, back into 45 knots as we're moving up. You're getting a pretty big change in wind speeds with a slight change in wind direction. You've got cape here. The NAM shows a pretty good severe setup. Let me look at one more thing and I'll get to chat. Oh man, HRRR is not out far enough. Icons loading. Does anyone trust the Canadian? I don't. All right. Interesting. What's our dew points? Last thing, what's our dew points? Higher your dew points, the more saturated the air is. The more saturated the air is, the more heat that can be released if you have cape. If you have that lift. So it helps with instability. Yeah, the NAM likes a pretty good setup. Look at these dew points actually pushing up through the Carolinas now and the NAM as well. I think we did see an enhanced out here, didn't we? We saw them go enhanced out there. Let's look. Not yet. I think they will go enhanced. I think they will do a day 4 enhanced for tomorrow. For next Wednesday. Okay, chat. Look at that. The 9th through the 15th. All right, chat. What do you want to talk about? Let me get the set back up. We are going to get We're going to get Matt in here a little bit later. You know, I didn't even look at our SYN. Can I look at our SYN real quick? Hold up. Last thing, I promise. I do want to look at our SYN. All right. This is a bad sounding I just pulled up, actually. This is a bad sounding I pulled up. Let me go back a little bit. No, SYN's not. Inhibition's a little low. Okay. All right, chat. What's going on? I need my second brain in here. So, yeah, Matt's going to get in here a little bit later. Here's the 18Z Euro. GFS model from last night. Ooh, this new Euro does like a lot of snow, but potentially up there to the Twin Cities, Iowa, even digging back down to the... I mean, this would be actually good for Omaha as well, potentially. GFS from last night, you want to look at that? What, like the 00Z? Big blizzard over the Twin Cities up towards Wisconsin. Yeah, snowstorm through snowstorm through the mid-Atlantic. I mean, it's still a possibility. This is almost a nor'easter style storm. Still a possibility. It's looking less and less likely, though. What's our new GFS say? Did it delete it? Pretty much. Not completely. Our new GFS is giving a chance. Is actually giving a chance for a snowstorm up there through the mid-Atlantic. So, still a possibility here. What is our 12Z? Sorry, let me look at the 12Z Euro for that setup as well. Yeah, Euro has too much heat up there. We don't have it showing on the 18Z yet. No flying cows and flying Matt tonight. We'll see. We might get on. I'm going to ask him. He's watching WWE right now. Matt's a big WWE fan. Oh, yeah. But look at the polar vortex now. Slim. Okay. Euro 12Z. Were we looking at this earlier? I think I went over this in my video today, did I not? I think I went over this in my video today. Euro deterministic stratosphere. I think I went over this in my video today. I did. Here you go. We can look at the 18Z. We can look at the 18Z GFS though and see what's going on. Here it is. Here's the second vortice of our stratospheric polar vortex beginning to form. This is about 250 hours out, so we got to wait. Over the northeastern U.S. This would create a stretched. Look at that. This would put some crazy temperatures potentially in late March, potentially up into the northeast here. Maybe even down into the southeast. Interesting. What's our GFS showing? What's our 18Z GFS showing? Ooh, wow. Oh, wow. Big stratospheric warming event to our north. Canada and the Arctic. This would be something. This would be something, guys. This is like flip-flopped. You're supposed to have this up here and this down here. Wow. This is crazy. This is crazy right here. Man, if this exact thing... Wow. Man, we got to watch late March. We got to watch late March, early April. Something very, very uncommon to happen with our temperatures. Interesting. Okay. Yep, still seeing it. It's actually we're seeing an even crazier look now with these latest updates with our stratospheric polar vortex split down here. This is crazy. This is. Let me actually go out here and look at the northern hemisphere so you guys can see this a little better. Here it's getting look at this. Whoa. That is wild. What's our anomaly looking like? Sorry, now I'm obsessed with this look. Look at that. Just drip down. Whoop. and then finally reattach. Oh my gosh. Cool. We'll keep an eye on that, guys. I don't have any experience with that exact type of setup happening late in the winter season. I've seen some meteorologists talking about it, and everyone has the same kind of idea that would push our actual sustained warm spring temperatures back quite a ways. But I almost don't even want to believe it until it gets closer. Is there a chance for another Florida cold front? Yeah, there is. Yeah. Let's go to our 12Z Euro. I mean, this would bring temperatures down in Florida next Thursday and Friday. We'll see how far that dips down, though. Some significant troughing still looks like it's moving in as we get to the end. As we get to the end of the second week of March as well. So we'll probably have at least one more push of cold air down into Florida. What's Minnesota looking like? I can't find any specifics. Let's take a look at our 18Z of the GFS of our American model, Kuchera. American model right now is thinking foot into the Twin Cities, 8 inches to a foot through much of central and southern Minnesota. Our latest Euro 18Z is thinking about 8-9 inches into the Twin Cities, potentially 6 to 9, central to southern Minnesota. Pretty close to good forecasting range here. Pretty close. We're in that 96-hour time frame now, so where the stuff starts to get locked down. It's a little bit of time for things to move up and down. So, Yali, I appreciate you, Julie. What's going on? And Brittany, what is popping? Oh my God, I haven't even seen gifts this whole time. I haven't been paying attention. Carrie Yali Fez, Brittany, Julie Yali, Julie. Any snow for Cincinnati this week? This week, probably not. Next week, well, I guess it would be this week. Monday through Sunday. This storm back here is going to be the one that gives you potential. So this would be a next weekend storm that may have a chance to put some snow through Cincinnati. It looks like the snow is going to want to hold to the north, but there are some runs that push that snow through Cincinnati next weekend. Or, I mean, this upcoming weekend. I'm sorry. More cold weather for New York City? Yeah. That's, yeah. This Climate Prediction Center thinks we're going to get a big warm up out east. Second week of March. I don't fully agree with that. We'll get some warm air in, but we'll get some cold air behind it. Let's talk about the temps in Orlando, 8th to the 15th. I mean, I'll just show you what our European temperature anomalies look like because it's our best temperature model. So it's our best model with a lot of things. But you're asking for 160 hours or plus. The odds that this model is perfect isn't going to be great. 120 hours plus. Or what was it? 8th to the 15th? Yeah, 160 hours plus. I mean, cold, warm, cold, warm, cold, warm, cold, warm. I don't know what to tell you. That's a pretty long time frame. I don't know what to tell you there. What was it? The 8th through the 15th? Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole entire week. A whole entire week. Here, temperatures are below average on the 8th. You go into the 9th, they're above average. You go into the 10th, they're below average. You go 11th, below average. Then you go into the 12th, 13th, above average. Then you go into the 14th, below average. And you go into the 15th, above average. They're going to be floating in between 10 degrees below average to 10 degrees above average through that entire week. At least that's what the Euro sees. It's there's no massive heat up and there's no massive cool down during that time frame forecast. Weather app says a foot next week for Park City, Utah. Is that true? Yeah, it could be true. It could be true. There's model consensus on this. This is a lot of snow. That's a lot of snow. And look what happens behind it. Man, you guys could have a good March out there. Here's one snow system for the Rockies, a second one, a third one, a fourth one, a fifth one. Man. Yeah, maybe some of these want to get down to New Mexico and Arizona as well. Specifically, I'm watching this time frame right here. This upcoming weekend for snow down in New Mexico and Arizona as well. That's a lot of snow. Let's look at what our... look at this. Watch the rock. Watch out here, guys. Watch this area as we push through on the Euro. Look at that. We have some totals in Utah, 60 plus inches. Same out here in Colorado, potentially. Few different systems that want to move through. Let's see what our GFS sees for you guys. 18Z. Oh, 00Z is loading in. Not quite loaded yet. Let's go into total snowfall Conchero. Isn't this interesting? Look at the latest GFS. Dropping a foot of snow just to the north of Dallas into Oklahoma. That's an interesting looking image I just drew. Interesting, guys. All right. If the GFS polar vortex were to do exactly what it's doing, would it be too late for snow in the south? Yeah, that's the problem. If that type of look were to happen, had it happened in mid-February, you could get a big snowstorm, I think, in early March into the south. We'll see if it's too late. We'll see if it's too little too late, you know what I mean? If the polar vortex does do that, would it be freezing in the lower 48? Yeah, we'd have potential to have some record cold temperatures broken at the end of March. We would, if it did exactly that. We would probably have some record cold temperatures at the end of March. We also need to see, can I live on the sun if I wanted to? What's up, Amanda? Yeah, definitely. You definitely couldn't live on the sun if you wanted to. Not even just because of the heat, but because of the radiation. Stars give off an immense amount of radiation. Remember, guys, the sun is heating us from billions of miles away. It's probably pretty hot near it. I would love to live long enough that we can take there's like a tour of the sun, and we just have spaceships that just like circle the sun. Have you guys ever heard the satellites that have recorded the sound of the sun? We shot a satellite into the sun, and it sent back a recording of what the sun sounds like. Oh my god, it's like the craziest, spookiest thing ever. The solar flares that are shooting off of the sun, you get this solar and superheated wind, and it's like a howling, like very spooky, like scary movie sound. It's crazy. You guys can look it up. What the sun sounds like. Feds, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Terry. Shout out Terry. Okay. Northwest Illinois next week, precip, snow, rain. How much? Wow, you're asking for a lot, aren't you? We could get a little bit. I mean, you're gonna get rain. You're gonna get 2 to 3 inches of rain potentially into northeast. Were you asking Illinois? Yeah, to northern Illinois. You could potentially break 2 to 3 inches into northern Illinois. Snow wise, you might get some back end snow. It's not going to be much, maybe an inch isolated in some areas locally. But you're gonna have a pretty good big cool down. We are watching this right here. What's going to happen this next weekend? If we go back to the 12Z Euro, could this be a good snowstorm for northern Illinois? Potentially. We don't see it yet, but potentially. Our GFS, what's our GFS do with this one for northern Illinois as we push into this upcoming weekend? It puts a lot of snow. I mean, it's probably going to put 6 to 9 inches of snow through northern Illinois, including Chicago. But we're over 120 plus hours out, so we can't lock that in. The bet's not a lock yet. Crazy today we had a good 35-degree temperature drop in Connecticut. Yeah. I'm in Philly. We had the same thing. It was for most people up here in the Mid-Atlantic and New England. Yeah, we were at 59 degrees at 11 a.m. I took my son to the park. He came back, ate lunch, napped. We went back outside at like 3 or 4 o'clock, like 4 hours later, and I was like, holy crap, it's cold. And it was in like the 30s. Yeah, it dropped like 30 degrees, like from the time he took a nap and then woke up. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Yeah, the high today was 63. The low is 27. So, almost a 40-degree swing in temperatures. Let's see. At 1 p.m., it was 63 degrees. Okay? At 1 p.m. At 6 p.m., it was 39. So, we went from the 60s. In a 5-hour span, we went from the 60s to the 30s. Yeah. Wind was whipping too. I was scared. I was going to lose power again. What's up, Suzette? This is pivotal weather we're looking at right now. Yep, pivotal weather. You think there's a chance for a nor'easter in New Jersey? Yeah, there is, T-Dub. There's still a chance. Someone brought up the GFS from last night that literally showed it. Here you go. The GFS showed it's more of a strong clipper, not really a nor'easter, but kind of. It's pulled away, but I mean, if you're asking me if there's a chance, there's 100% a chance. It's just not a good chance. What I'm looking at here is in previous runs, this is our main kind of polar jet here. In previous runs, this thing was up here. So we've seen this cold air trending south, actually, a little bit. We've seen this cold air trending south. So there's still potential for, I don't know if I'd call it a nor'easter, but a decent snowstorm through coastal Mid-Atlantic and New England. But, I'm not going to say it's a great chance. But looking at it, we would have to see that cold air. We'd have to see that piece of energy and cold air to the north continue to trend south and probably a little bit and slow down a little bit because we want that thing to be dipping in a little bit farther west. That's what's trending. It's moving in that direction right now, but will it continue to move in that direction through these model runs? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I want it to. I want a big snowstorm up here in Philly. Why has Arizona been so dry this year? A lot of areas out west have been very dry. We've just had a jet stream that is locked in. I mean, from December through February, 70% of the time we had a jet that was in kind of a positive PNA look, meaning we had a ridging out to the west, a high pressure that was kind of continuously being stuck out here. When you have a high pressure, you have converging winds that are smashing your air molecules down, or your air particles down onto the surface. You don't get any lift. You get a very dry environment. There's no instability with high pressure is stability. Some people need a high pressure in their life. A high pressure is stability, so that's warm air aloft and cooler air at the surface potentially. But or it's just what happens when you have a positive PNA is you typically just you have a ridge that sets up in the west. You don't need to have, for stability, you don't need to have warm air aloft and cold air at the surface. You can just have warm air from the surface all the way up to the ceiling as well, all the way up to the tropopause. Or steady, not much of a temperature gradient with verticality. So you guys were sitting under a ridge for a long period of time, and we kept having this cold air being pulled into our trough out here in the east. This is where we were getting our storms. So it was just a bad setup. It was a bad setup. Sometimes you get a jet stream certain winters that really lock in, and instead of just having, it's a ridge here, and then next week, oh, it's a ridge over here. You do have years where the jet holds for weeks at a time, and you're just stuck in this dry pocket while it's cold and rainy out here, or cold and snowy out here. There's things that can affect that. The MJO phase can affect it. Our Enso cycles can affect it. There's all sorts of things, but it's honestly, for the most part, it's hard. It's not really understood. Our jet stream patterns over, seasonally, like if you're talking about a seasonal outlook, are extremely hard to predict. Will we have severe weather with our second system? Yeah, maybe. There's potential. It's not looking wild right now, but there's potential. I can see why this thing is starting to look less and less impressive. With this right here, yeah, I mean, there's potential with this. Should we just get a sounding from it real quick? Nothing crazy. We would want this to dig. Let's look at what this looks like. Let's look at what this looks like. Here's our first one. This is a negatively tilted trough. Of course, this is going to pull moisture off the Gulf. We're going to have a big trough ejection through here. We have a high pressure sitting out here that's going to help to kind of eject this, get some high velocity winds, help with some potentially some shear, some rotation through here, but we'll see. I think it's kind of outrunning the Cape. Here's our second one. Here's our second storm. Now, this actually, that's a little bit farther out. This is our second one. This is our weekend one. Not very impressive. We've basically got a positive to a neutrally tilted trough. Not very impressive. There's not going to be a ton of instability with this. We're not going to have, there's like zero Cape with this system. So probably not. If we look at a little bit farther ahead, this is an interesting look here. This is a trough that wants to go negatively tilted. So we'll see about that. That would be out towards the 12th, 13th. It's a little too far out to take too seriously yet. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Where's Matt? Come on, Matt. Oh, speak of the devil. I literally just said, "Where's Matt?" And then I saw you calling me.
You might want to check your OOZ NAM and your.
Oh, I did. After I spoke with you, I pulled up the 00Z NAM and I was talking to chat and I said, "Never mind." I mean, we have soundings with like almost up to 2,400 MU Cape. Let me see something here. The Cape. Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, wow, look at this thing stretching up into Iowa.
Yeah, and that's that cold core setup up north.
2,000 joules per kilogram pushing up into Iowa. There's, man, the shear is crazy at the 1,000 to 850 millibar level.
Yeah, and I was looking for inversions to see if anything was going to get like tapped out. There's no 750 millibar inversion anywhere near the load there, so this thing's going to have like tornado galore genesis if it gets going.
Yeah.
Here's my honest concern is everybody's downplaying Monday as you know, the chasers are going to be on Smart Chase and Sunday's little mediocre event, and then you know I really think everybody's more focused on Tuesday's event and it's not paying attention to Monday night when we have all that rust and instability. I think personally, and I've actually talked to another meteorologist I'm friends with in Virginia, and he was saying he thinks Monday night's event could overdo Tuesday completely out the water.
Really?
And that's just given the instability and the shear that's already going to be there.
I'm seeing. Let me see. You want to get on? You want to get in here with me?
Yeah, let me hop in there. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. What is this sounding? What is this sounding? For Tulsa, yeah, potentially. That's what we're looking at right now. What is this shear? Do you guys see this? What is... He's right. He's right, guys. Let's look at this a little bit deeper here. Let's dig in. Interesting. Okay, about 1,000 joules per kilogram. We could easily outdo this. They always underdo Cape here. We got a negative sin. Very good. I mean, decent wind shear. Wind direction change is crazy. Not much. Wind velocity change isn't doing anything for me. Our hodograph's kind of doing wacky stuff as well. This actually isn't a bad hodograph. Very negative sin. This is a problem here. You wouldn't be able to break the cap there. Yeah, 1 second, guys. I want to let Matt get in and give his opinion here. This NAM is doing some wild stuff. We were talking about it earlier. Henry, I appreciate you. Grand Rapids, Michigan could get snow, yeah. We'll go over that in a second. Let me tell Matt I'll invite him when he's ready. Know when I'll invite you, or you can request. Appreciate that, Henry. Okay. Man, the NAM and the Euro really do not agree, guys. Let's look at some of these. Let's look at some of this. 1,700. This is about 2,000 joules per kilogram in here. Once you get 2,000 plus, you really do have a chance for some strong tornadoes. Oh, look in here. Almost 2,100. The shear isn't crazy the shear isn't doing anything for me here. You want to see the bulk of your shear really happen, guys, between your 500 millibar layer and your surface. That's where you want the shear to happen if you're going to get a good rotation, some good vorticity. And what's happening with our shear down here is we have winds coming in from the southwest and then up to the 500 millibar level. They're coming in from the southwest as well. They're at different velocities, but our hodograph doesn't look terrible. Oh, he requested. Here we go. You guys should be able to hear him in a second.
Hello.
Hey, so yes, after I got off the phone with you, we did pull up the NAM a while ago.
Yeah.
And it paints an entirely different picture. I will say that I will state this, where I'm still I'm seeing a lot of cape with the NAM. I'm not seeing as much shear potential with the NAM. What are your thoughts?
Let me take a look here. Are you talking for Monday night or Tuesday?
For Tuesday, I'm seeing some decent shear for Monday night.
Yep.
Some almost weirdly looking like let me pull this up. Do you have my stream up?
Yeah, I'm watching.
What is going on here with our What is going on
that's
here?
That's your low level jet cranking up to 60 plus knots.
I mean, that's something interesting. And you have about really 1,000 forecasted cape as well. So
Yep, and that's way more than enough in this environment.
exactly. If we saw this type of shear on our Tuesday setup, we'd have
we do. The shear there. Go look at your LLJ at 850. It's supposed to be 60 plus knots. We're supposed to be looking at hurricane force winds.
Are you serious?
Yep. You'll watch it go transition from Monday all the way across the warm sector.
63, 65 knots. That's about 90 mile per hour winds. It's about 70, 75, 80 mile per hour winds. You're right.
And that's why those, if you just were to take a random sounding anywhere in there, even without the cape, you'll see that hodograph elongated all the way at the top there for that shear. It's just the instability. This is, like I said, got that high ceiling because if that instability does happen, we could see the potential with those prefrontal supercells that could develop, especially down towards Mississippi and Louisiana, that long track potential.
Yeah. Guys, this is
We know
our
we're going to get a squall line.
this
It's
is
just
our
how
this
intense.
is our lower level jet, guys. So we're looking at 925 millibar level. This is literally right above the surface, where we're seeing potential for some hurricane type force winds. This wouldn't be at the surface, right above the surface. You could get this down at the surface in some areas, especially when you have the your squall line moving through. But man, you go up to the 850 level. Let's see. Oh my lord, dude.
It's going to be booking it, yeah.
85. Yeah, because 90 knots, you're at about 105 miles per hour. 85 knots. This is pushing close. This is 95 to 100 mile per hour winds, right?
I don't
at
think
the
I've
850
ever
millibar
seen in
level.
my 8 years of doing this a low level jet that intense.
That's wild.
And we also have a chance to hit a record for our millibars on our pressure.
Really?
The record pressure reading on a low pressure for the month of March is 980. It's forecasted for 977 if it's still on that trend.
Oh my god. Let me move out here.
And then we'll have blizzard warnings probably issued for Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa.
Yeah, the GFS wants a blizzard through
Yep.
through Minneapolis. The Euro's a little bit lighter on it. Let's see. Let me go to the latest Euro. Let's see. Oh wow, you're right.
Yep. That would be historic.
978.
All-time record.
Yeah, I mean this is like a bomb cyclone directly moving into the Midwest.
I always tell people if that was over the waters, we'd have a Cat 2 hurricane. But
Yep.
we don't.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm interested on, tomorrow's going to be tomorrow. I'm interested on Monday night. Monday night will be interesting. Definitely don't want people sleeping on that. Still,
Yeah.
Tuesday still looks really, really
Yeah.
good. I still have the thoughts of an MDT being driven 15%, especially down towards Louisiana, where I've been, where those PDS tours have been pulled all day.
Yeah.
I think that's where the robust supercell for prefrontal convection is going to be at.
I think I'd be more surprised than not if we didn't get a moderate.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people are banking on it tonight on day 3. I don't think it'll happen. I think they're going to wait until the HER comes in tomorrow. But if they do it tonight, wouldn't blow that up a portion.
Yeah. Someone wait. Someone said, Kayla said, how do you feel about the NWS situation? Should I let you talk?
We did have a potential really good thing happen today.
Yeah. What was it?
So they found $29 million in fraud, and it's supposedly, this is, I'm waiting for a couple other people that are higher up to confirm this and make sure, but supposedly it will be going towards the upgrading of radars and WFOs.
Yeah, so that's something that I again, you've been digging into this. I haven't dug in as much. They're saying some of these places like that if they do find fraud, that they're just going to reinvest it. Which would be great. So I hope that they did find $29 million in fraud and that they do just dump that money back in. But we need the people there. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
And having mass firings through this region, through your through the plains, through the plains going into spring is a little bit of an issue.
The warning times that are issued on Monday and Tuesday, really tomorrow. We'll figure that out tomorrow afternoon if we get anything.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess you've kind of given us your thoughts.
Yeah.
The NAM has brought life back to this.
Absolutely.
Dude, I don't know what the Euro 18Z is doing. The Euro 18Z was showing literally I would put a general thunderstorm warning over this area. Not literally, but that was
It's been this up and down roller coaster, and that's why these global models give me headaches when forecasting severe weather. Have you seen how
I agree.
The weekend still looks that it's the European and the GFS are starting to make Saturday and Sunday look like another replica of Tuesday. As far as where the placement of the low is going to go and all that still
Let
has,
me
we
see.
still have weeks out or days out, but still.
Yeah, the 18Z of the Euro is actually starting to, I think, to mimic the GFS a little bit more.
Yeah.
Interesting. With radar Roro, so something was mentioned on that too, that allegedly there may be spring hirings, all alleged.
I hope and I pray that is a legit thing.
Yeah, don't hire me.
I've had so many people say, like, Mesomat, go work at NWS. You call it early, but anybody can call a warning early if they know how to read a radar. It's that simple.
Yeah. Who in their right mind would want to work for the NWS or
I would not personally.
in the weather world with all the stuff going on right now, guys? And if you didn't know, there were like thousands. There was over 1,000 meteorologists let go last year too. Yep.
That's just part of it. Yeah, I would personally.
All right, cool. So the highlights from this Sunday, Monday. Is going to could potentially be a little bit more than what people are expecting. And the thing is, Sunday, Monday, Or it's really, what is this? Are you looking at this more Monday morning?
Just Monday night. It's Monday night.
Monday night.
Yep.
Um, wait, are you sure Monday night?
Yeah, so you're looking at Sunday's little Clipper system tomorrow, and then yeah, Monday night. It's after midnight is when things get going.
No, yeah, I'm looking. What do you think about this though? What do you think?
Tomorrow?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the 2%. They've got a 2% tour out for Northeast Texas, Southwestern Oklahoma. It is a 4-hour event tomorrow, 1 o'clock to 6 p.m. Daytime
I just
heating.
think
That's
we're,
it.
I just think this is where you could get some more discreet sells.
I agree.
You could get something very very random popping up that could end up
I'm gonna
shocking some people.
cover it tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, this looks like a big nothing burger, but sometimes when you have this much clean air around, and you have some instability, this is actually a much better setup than it looks like on the radar. You don't have this big threatening looking system, but you can actually get some strong tornadoes out of something like this. So, look at it. It's like a little P on the map.
It's a pretty decent shortwave trough on the 500 too. It looks really good.
Yeah. So, okay. The NAM is starting to bring this thing back to life. Okay. All right, cool. I'm excited to get to her. And we'll have a ton of information for you guys. Definitely.
Yeah,
as we get
tomorrow
to
will be a big night.
tomorrow evening and Monday. We'll have all the information you guys need. Is Matt going live? Connor said.
I was gonna ask you what you wanted to do, sir. I'm good to go if you want to play.
Yeah, I could do. Yeah, I could do that. You want to do a couple rounds of Outbreak?
We can do it. I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right. Okay, let me answer some more questions for like 10 minutes and I'll hop on with you.
Sounds good.
All right, peace. All right, guys, let me answer some more questions and then we're gonna do another round of Outbreak tonight, okay? If you guys weren't in the stream last night, it's a tornado chasing video game and it's awesome. Brett said, "Let's go." Will that be yeeting yourself into tornadoes? Yes. Do you think central Minnesota will get snow on Tuesday or later this week? Yeah, I mean, right now it looks like you guys will. I mean, every single model that we have put some decent snow into central and southern Minnesota. So you'd have to have some pretty bad luck, I think, not to get some good snow into central and southern Minnesota. But we'll be in a good forecasting range tomorrow, 72 hours. So we'll have some clarification on that. Is a tornado going to happen in Georgia, Atlanta? I don't know if a tornado's going through Atlanta. Do we have the possibility for some tornadoes in Georgia? 100%. We have the possibility for some tornadoes through Georgia. The farther out east you go, you're going to have a higher probability of QLCS tornadoes, quasi-linear convective system tornadoes. These are tornadoes that are associated with the squall line. They're typically EF0 to EF1, maybe weak EF2s. They do damage, but they're not these massive, scary tornadoes that you see in YouTube videos and on TV and that people talk about. But they can do some damage. But, we're going to see a less threatening tornadoes as we move out to the east, but they can still, you don't want to mess with them. You don't want to mess with them. You want to be weather alert because, you'd still, if you have a QLCS tornado going over your head, even at EF0 or EF1, probably want to be in a closet in the interior of your house. You still, these things usually take down power lines, branches, but it can still mess with some homes and stuff. So we got to watch that. We could get some big hail. We could get some big hail out here with these systems as well moving through. And you're going to have some strong winds just associated with the squall line that has nothing to do with these tornadoes. Where's the highest risk? Well, we can show you that right now. We're expecting this risk to actually potentially go moderate. We're going to see a marginal extend out here, guys. So this whole area is going to be in a severe weather. Your highest risk is going to be through here. This might extend though. We might see this extend like this. So we'll see. This is where you could get the long track, very dangerous tornadoes. It's not guaranteed. Let's hope this thing dies off a little bit, but we'll see. Clark's, yeah, Tennessee has to. Again, this is going to be moving east. The farther east it goes, the less shear, the more your shear and cape's going to disappear. But most of Tennessee needs to watch out. I mean, really all of Tennessee needs to stay weather alert. This is going to be on Tuesday, especially for central to eastern Tennessee. This is going to be a Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning. Can this weaken? It can, yeah. I mean, it's been strengthening and weakening in the models. Once we get into tomorrow, our confidence goes way up because then we're in the 48 to 72 hour time frame where we have our short range models, including our HRRR. That's going to give us some much better details, and we'll be able to kind of hone in on is this going to be a dud or not? Meaning, is it going to be a good setup or not for severe weather? I mean, it's going to be a good setup for severe weather regardless, but are we going to get big tornadoes with this thing is what we want to know. Or is there going to be a tornado outbreak with this thing is what we want to know. We check tropical tidbits. You can see a Nino 1 and Nino 2 are in El Nino territory. Are they? We're still projected to be in a La Nina as we push through. Actually, an Enzo neutral as we push into hurricane season. You can check that on tropical tidbits. I've never used this on tropical tidbits. Okay. Why is this starting in? What is this? Oh, okay. I'm like, why are we at December 2nd to... Okay, here we are. I did not know. Oh, this is interesting. I want to get an update from NOAA on our Enzo forecast after taking a look at this. We'll probably get one soon. If we do, I'll talk about it in the video tomorrow. I love when chat points out stuff that I haven't been paying attention to. It helps. Look at the 00Z NAM for Southern Oklahoma. We did that earlier, didn't we? Oh, I probably answered that. Heather, appreciate you. 00Z NAM. Let's go to a sounding down here. Southern Oklahoma. Depends what part you're talking about. Very intense shear. Very intense shear with this. But very little cape. This is a tornado sounding right there, guys. But not too much cape associated with that. Or tornado hodograph. What do you think for Louisville, Kentucky, severe weather? I think you should have weather alerts because you're going to be in a slight, potentially enhanced risk on Tuesday, and you need to be watching out. I think the worst looks to be south of you, but sometimes this shifts day of, so you need to be watching out for that. Kendra, I appreciate you. Concerns for southeastern Missouri? Yes. Again, you guys may end up even being in a moderate. We'll see. I think you'll probably be likely be moving in an enhanced 3 out of 5 risk. Yeah, we can go back here and look at our day 4. Southeastern Missouri is in an enhanced right now. You'll probably stay in an enhanced. The next update, our moderate might go down here if we get a moderate. Or MDT, as Matt says. So, yeah, listen. The country's very, very big. People get scared when they get in these risk zones because this is where the strong tornadoes can happen. But you have to understand, 99.999999999% of the people in this zone are not going to even see a tornado or feel it. So stay weather alert. You'll have time. You have plenty of time to react. If you have a severe weather watch, Matt calls these things 30 to 40 minutes ahead of time if he thinks that there's going to be a potential for something spinning or tornado coming towards your area. We can call it pretty far ahead of time in live streams. Matt will be live streaming this. There'll be a lot of people live streaming this event on Tuesday. So, the timing wise, what does it look like right now? Let's go to our NAM. And then I'm going to get off and I'm going to get back on. I'm going to stream a little bit of Outbreak with Matt. timing wise for you down there in southeastern Missouri, we could see this starting up Tuesday afternoon through Tuesday evening. That's when you're going to want to be paying attention. Maybe Tuesday 12 all the way in through midnight. So that's kind of your time frame. I appreciate follows, appreciate subs, appreciate the gifts, guys. Thank you. I'm going to get off here for a little bit. A few minutes, I'm going to get back on. I'm going to be streaming Outbreak. We're going to be streaming that tornado chasing video game we were playing yesterday. It's a lot of fun. I'll be playing with Mesomet. Matt, I appreciate you. What's going on? GFS is giving a foot of snow for Oklahoma. Yeah, it is. It's pretty far out, though. We'll see. Times for Louisville. Potentially starting up Tuesday evening. And then hopefully being out of your hair. Let's see. Tuesday evening. And then probably seeing the worst of it gone. Yeah, Tuesday evening through about. It's gonna be about 6 to 8 hours. Right now it looks like Tuesday 6 p.m. potentially through, I would say 2 to 3 a.m. on Wednesday. Again, Missouri, Kentucky, southeastern Missouri, Louisville. You're not that far away. This is going to be a Tuesday. It's going to be more of a Tuesday afternoon to Tuesday evening event for Missouri, and a Tuesday evening into Wednesday, Wednesday morning event. Looks like for Louisville. All right, I appreciate all of you. I'm going to get off for just a second. I'm going to hop back on. We're going to play a little bit of Outbreak with Matt. Alrighty, obviously I'm going to get more updates on all this stuff tomorrow. I'm going to post, and I'll go live again tomorrow, talking about this stuff. But we're going to do a little bit of gaming. We're going to chase some naders. So I'll see you guys in a little bit here.